So. Okay, okay. Dann könnten wir jetzt gucken, dass wir vielleicht wirklich erstmal das mit Sarah weiterverfolgen. Dafür müssen wir dahin springen. Die Route können wir aber noch nicht fliegen. Da könnten wir hinfliegen. Nach Volai. Im Volai-System haben wir auch Missionen. Wenn ich mich richtig erinnere. Tja, wenn wir da jetzt eh schon sind, wollen wir die Mission dann machen oder wollen wir erstmal die von Sarah weiterverfolgen?
Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship. Scan complete. Go ahead and land.
Go ahead and land. Oh. Neon. Ich befürchte, Neon wird eine sehr große Stadt sein. Sag mal, ist das ein Wasserplanet? Da steht Fels, aber ich sehe keinen Fels. Ich sehe nur Blau. Okay. Gebäude. Was ist da für ein Gebäude? Man weiß es nicht. Ja, nee. Wir machen jetzt erstmal die Hochzeit. Wir heiraten jetzt erstmal Sarah. Die Hochzeit hat jetzt erstmal vor.
I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
Unidentifiziertes Schiff. Was? Hier spricht Gideon. Das funktioniert wohl nicht. Ich werde sehen, ob ich andocken kann, damit wir an Bord reden können. Stimmt was nicht. Braucht ihr Hilfe? Ist bei eurem Konsensystem vielleicht irgendwas kaputt? Ich verstehe euch nicht. Hört ihr mich? Ich werde mal andocken. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich andocken will, Alter. Es ist ruhiger geworden. Okay. Der Typ hat gesagt, wir sollten eigentlich erst zu ihm und dann zu dem Schiff. Aber ganz ehrlich, wenn wir jetzt schon bei dem Schiff sind, wir kümmern uns da schon drum. Und dann kommen wir zu ihm und dann können wir sagen, jo, wir haben uns da schon drum gekümmert. Aber irgendwas ist hier komisch. Das riecht. Sarah, mitkommen. Es gibt besondere Flitterwochen. Sprich mit dem Captain des Schiffs. Erstkontakt?
Stay alert. Weapons at the ready.
Remain calm. There's no reason to suspect whatever it is hostile.
I agree with the captain. Now is the time for diplomacy.
Agreed.
You're human.
Ach, die suchen nach Aliens, oder was? Moment mal, was bist du?
Oh, we're human. From the planet Earth in the Sol System.
Ah, das hätte ich nicht gedacht. Nein, siehst du das nicht? Ich bin ein fremdartiges, furchterregendes Tentakelmonster. Ein Mensch? Ich dachte, das wäre die einzige Option. Natürlich bin ich ein Mensch. Ich nehme an, du hattest etwas anderes erwartet?
It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Imagine
What?
being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
Wie könnt ihr denken, dass ihr die einzigen seid, die die Menschheit, die vom, hä? Ich meine, gut, das Weltall ist riesig. Wahrscheinlich ist die Wahrscheinlichkeit, dass du Leuten begegnest, verdammt gering eigentlich. Wenn du nicht weißt, wo du hinfliegen musst. Aber was ist das für ein Schiff?
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship Constant. Generations ago,
yeah.
we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago.
Okay, das heißt, ihr seid losgeflogen. Dann ist irgendwann die Erde kaputt gegangen und ihr dachtet, ihr werdet die Einzigen. Aber ihr habt überhaupt nicht mitbekommen, dass es Kriege mittlerweile gab zwischen Fraktionen, die in unterschiedlichen Sonnensystemen leben. Nun, okay. Also, ich will es euch ja nicht, also, ne, ihr habt einiges verpasst. Ich bin hier, um
I
zu
see.
helfen.
As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by, well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others.
Wieso habt ihr denn so lange gedauert? Also so lange gebraucht? Ich glaube, der Planet da unten, der ist schon seit 100 Jahren oder so bevölkert oder so. 200 Jahre. Lass mich raten, ihr habt noch gar keinen Graph-Antrieb. Das heißt, ihr seid wirklich geflogen und habt keinen Graph-Sprung gemacht. Bruh. Das ist natürlich bitter.
Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work. And so they made the decision to leave when they did.
Uff. Ihr wisst also von den Menschen auf der Oberfläche?
We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans.
Wie habt ihr 200 Jahre lang überlebt?
Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous.
Ihr konntet nicht kommunizieren? Warum? Wahrscheinlich, weil sie veraltete Technik haben?
We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible that our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. It gave me the heebie-jeebies at first.
Was für Dinge hat dir das gegeben, Alter? Ich will ehrlich sein, das ist ziemlich lang. Tja, diese anderen sind Menschen und sie waren zuerst hier. Ich würde gerne mehr erfahren, aber vielleicht sollten wir erst aus dieser Luftschleuse raus. Ja, die anderen sind Menschen.
Of course, we know that now. Human or not, we were still unable to communicate our intentions. As soon as we discovered them, we fully expected negotiations would be necessary. Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge.
Okay.
Dr. Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security
Sarah,
purposes.
du hast keine Waffe
I
in
do
der
not
Hand.
believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor,
again, I haven't seen any
Breckenridge,
ships before you
researched a
arrived.
number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So,
Das
he
ist
gathered
ja.
the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time.
We
If you
got
can
strict
believe,
rules
entire
around
generations
here.
have been
They're
born,
strict for a
lived,
reason.
and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Tja, das muss ein kleiner Mindfuck sein, ne?
We were never trained
Du
to
denkst, du
trust
bist
threats coming
das
from
Einzige, was
outside.
noch von der Menschheit übrig ist. Und dann plötzlich, ja, also wir haben hier ein paar
I have to
Sonnensysteme.
say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
I maintain order around here, and I aim to continue that, even in these
What's it looking like,
strange
Yue?
times.
Wait, I think I see someone waving at us from down there. Just kidding. There's nobody.
Carry on then.
Okay. Also, ist es schwierig, Captain eines Kolonistenschiffes zu sein?
Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Breckenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made.
Wie geht es deiner Crew?
A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually.
We live in exciting times.
Wie lange bist du schon Captain?
I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly.
Quickly. Ich finde es manchmal ein bisschen nervig, dass die Leute da. Hat sich Starfield gerade gekillt? Ah ja, Starfield hat sich gekillt. Nice. Ich finde es manchmal ein bisschen nervig, dass die Leute dazwischen reden. Während du gerade im Gespräch bist. Auch eben, als sie mich durch das Schiff geleitet hat. Und dann irgendwelche NPCs die NPCs sind. Da links und rechts noch so irgendwie meinen, dich anquatschen zu müssen. Okay, aber das erinnert mich so ein bisschen an Outriders. Da gab es auch so einen Plot. Oh Gott. Da gab es auch so einen Plot-Twist, dass manche später von der Erde losgeflogen sind und einen gewissen Antrieb fertig bekommen haben. Wodurch sie dann früher da waren. Dezent früher. Was hatte ich da?
It's just that,
Imagine being cut off from...
Perhaps.
of course, this is security op. And this is...
A pleasure to meet you.
You've come aboard the generations ago. I see. Our ship is fine. Communications, perhaps you'd be willing. Your question. It would seem that that would explain. I can only imagine. We do. Well, we've also seen the very... Well, the short answer, it was never intended that, though it would... We're not entirely sure. All we hear when you... Of course, we know as soon as we discuss... Now then, please, Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
Ich gehe schon mal vor, ja.
What's out there? Things are gonna be more interesting.
I do not think we have need to fear...
Ach du Scheiße. Okay.
Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios.
Cool.
Climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here.
Das habe ich schon
We
mal
were told
gehört.
that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Geh doch bitte schneller. Bitte etwas schneller.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
So.
So, here we are. Let's talk.
Ja.
Our people
No
never
matter the
expected
outcome,
to meet
I
with
won't let
other
my crew down.
colonies, so forgive them if
Ja.
I get distrustful.
Our mission was to think
Ich
that
gehe
while-
trotzdem
but with
immer
the
noch mal
stumbling
alle
a bit
Gesprächsoptionen
frazzled,
durch.
while we hope
Falls
we
man noch mal
I do know that we
irgendwie...
can't- The ship was built
Ja, also wir wissen halt
I think
Sachen,
I'm
aber
coming up on-
vielleicht
because of that. I think some people on the ship.
schaltet das halt später noch gewisse Sachen frei, die wir dann
Well,
dialogmäßig benutzen
as I
können.
mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you?
Das klingt doch vernünftig. Was stimmt mit eurem Com-System nicht?
We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now.
Glaube ich
In all
auch.
honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them.
Was ist denn für mich drin?
I wish I could say that the satisfaction of helping others in need is sufficient, but I'm not getting that impression from you. I'm sure we can pull together some resources equivalent to whatever currency you use these days. We'll do what we can to make it worthwhile. And until then, you're free to make use of whatever facilities you need on our ship.
Stimmt, die werden ja auch keine Credits haben. Gut, naja. Klingt so, als würdest du zu den schwierigen Teil auf jemand anderen abwählen. Als würdest du den schwierigen Teil auf jemand... ich helfe gern.
We know there's a settlement on the planet below, meaning people were here before us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us.
Ach so, und du willst jetzt quasi, dass ich jeden Mensch dazu zwinge, den Planeten zu verlassen? Geht doch einfach auch runter, landet und entweder baut ihr irgendwo Koordinate XY euch eine kleine Siedlung auf oder ihr geht in die schon da ist. Warum sucht ihr euch nicht einfach einen anderen Planeten? Ich glaube, das sind die ein paar Jahre unterwegs.
Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that this was the perfect planet for us. Even if we had another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there. And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars so their children's children can possibly settle on an inferior planet.
Wie können andere diesen Planeten besiedeln, wenn ihr ihn schon beansprucht habt? Naja.
When we left Earth, there were no claims to planets this far out into space. We had assumed that we were the only ones attempting a generational journey such as this, meaning that there would be no need for a formal claims process. Regardless, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, did manage to file a charter for this planet's first colony to be named New Jamestown. According to his records, no one took it seriously when he filed it, so likely it was either ignored or the records were lost to the ages. Given humanity's lack of interest in colonizing the far reaches of space at the time, it shouldn't have been a problem, but again, here we are now.
Ich werde es versuchen, aber Diplomatie erfordert auch Kompromisse. Ja.
Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there.
Die will wirklich, dass ich den Leuten auf dem Planeten sag, die sollen sich da verpissen, weil hier ist seit 200 Jahren ein Kolonistenschiff unterwegs und die haben den Planeten vor 200 Jahren beansprucht. Was? Warum besiedelt ihr nicht die andere Seite fern von den anderen? Ja.
We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilizations spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world.
Du hast doch wirklich nicht mehr alle Tassen am Schrank.
I'm serious. We have a rightful claim to this land, and I intend to fight for it. But as you're currently our only hope, perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all, for the sake of some very weary travelers who have come a very long way to be here. Thank you.
Ihr habt kein Anrecht auf diesen Planeten.
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
Ja, die Tante, die das hier steuert, ist auch aus dem Museum, Alter. So, nee, unsere Vorfahren wollten, dass wir den Planeten komplett einnehmen. Ja, schade, es ist halt anders gekommen, du alte Schachtel. Deine Vorfahren werden schon nicht aufwachen und dich umbringen. Nur weil du dann sagst, oh ja, nee, dann müssen wir halt irgendwie einen Weg finden, mit dem alle zufrieden sein können und vernünftig leben können. Ihr wollt, dass ich Leute, die auf dem Planeten seit, keine Ahnung, 150 Jahren lebe, ich soll den kompletten Planeten sagen, ihr sollt euch verpissen. Was ist denn mit ihr? Die ist doch komplett durchgeknallt, Alter. Wir haben die Situation unter Kontrolle, Captain. Hat sich herausgestellt, dass das Rumpeln durch einen leichten Ausrichtungsfehler in Technikstation 6 verursacht wurde. Wir haben ein bisschen Altmetall zusammengekratzt und das Teil gesichert. Zum Glück war Zuska klein genug, um hineinzuklettern und es festzuschweißen. Sonst hätten wir die Toiletten rausreißen müssen, um hinzugelangen. Und ich weiß, dass das an Bord keinen Anklang gefunden hätte. Jedenfalls, der Job ist erledigt und hey, kein Rumpeln mehr. Ich bin mit meinen Latein am Ende. Die ersten paar Schiffe, die wir bei unserer Ankunft sahen, konnten nicht schnell genug Land gewinnen. Das eine, das hier blieb und anscheinend versuchen wollte, mit uns zu kommunizieren, verschwand, nachdem unsere Versuche scheiterten. Yui meinte, dass das Signal völlig verzerrt gewesen sei. Entweder war das einfach die Sprache dieser Kreaturen, oder unsere Kommensysteme sind nicht kompatibel. Yu weiß es nicht. Armin hat keine Ahnung. Wenn wir das Landeshuttle noch hätten, könnten wir einfach selbst runter. Wir haben es sogar mit etwas namens Morsecode versucht. Julia hatte die Idee aus einem alten Buch. Im Grunde ist es eine Nachricht, die durch das Aussenden von Lichtstrahlen mit unterschiedlichen Intervallen übermittelt wird. Aber entweder sie konnten die Nachricht nicht entschlüsseln oder, noch schlimmer, niemand hat sie gesehen. Ich könnte deinen Rat gebrauchen, Captain Diana Beckenbridge. Ich glaube, am besten wäre es, wenn wir hier bleiben und warten. Wer oder was auch immer sie sind, irgendwann werden sie bei uns andocken wollen. Vielleicht sind sie genauso besorgt wie wir. Ich würde vorschlagen, ein Willkommenskomitee auszuwählen. Wenn es soweit ist, sollten wir auf der Hut sein, aber unseren Freunden einen herzlichen Empfang bereiten. Du hast die Crew ausgezeichnet informiert gehalten und die Ordnung bewahrt. Nur weiter so, wir schaffen das. Mabuti. Mabuti. Mabuti hat einen großen Booty. Dringende Nachricht vom Captain. Liebe Crew der ECS Constant. Zuallererst die wunderbaren Neuigkeiten. Wir sind in New Jamestown angekommen. Die Mission, die unsere Ahnen vor Hunderten von Jahren begonnen haben, ist ein voller Erfolg. Leider haben wir kein Landeshuttle und müssen deshalb im Orbit bleiben. Der Plan war immer, Teile der Constant auszubauen, sobald wir im Orbit angekommen sind und daraus ein neues Landeshuttle zu bauen. Jedoch wissen wir mittlerweile, dass der Planet bewohnt sein scheint. Wir wissen nicht mit Sicherheit, ob es sich dabei um außerirdische Lebensformen handelt. Bislang haben unsere Kommunikationsversuche noch keine Früchte getragen. Wir versuchen uns mit ihnen zu treffen und den Transport zu arrangieren, statt unser aktuelles Zuhause umsonst zu beschädigen. Wenn das geschehen ist, können wir unsere Rechte auf dem Planeten besprechen. Vielen Dank, dass ihr zu diesen unsicheren Zeiten einen kühlen Kopf bewahrt. Aliens! Oh mein Gott, Diana! Du hast nie gesagt, dass wir eventuell auf Aliens stoßen könnten. Was machen wir jetzt? Ich hyperventiliere hier drüben. Sie sind aber nicht feindlich, oder? Was machen wir jetzt? Was sage ich den anderen? Sie fragen mich alle und ich weiß nicht, was ich sagen soll. Hilf mir doch bitte. Abi. Keine Erdbeeren. Ich wollte euch nur mitteilen, dass wir keine gefriergetrockneten Erdbeeren mehr haben. Manche Mitglieder der Crew haben mich gedrängt, ich sollte den Saatguttresor öffnen, damit Janet mehr pflanzen kann. Aber ich musste leider verneinen. Selbst wenn ich es wollte, wir würden riskieren, mehr als nur Erdbeeren zu verlieren. Ich dachte, ich sollte das mal erwähnen, falls jemand von euch unbedingt welche haben wollte. Ich habe mir deine Blutwerte angesehen. Nimm mehr Vitamin D ein. Eine weitere halbe Tablette pro Tag sollte genügen. Das wär's. Lorelei. Oh. Dringendes Handeln. Kein dringendes Handeln erforderlich. Okay.
You certainly know your way around a computer system.
Oh ja.
The Constant is a peaceful. Just stay out of trouble.
Ich schieb dir gleich meine Shotgun ins Gesicht.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do.
Das glaube ich dir.
Hey, so it is true. An actual stranger aboard our ship? Wow.
Yes. Ihr habt nicht oft Besuch, was?
We don't get any. We never expected to meet anyone else traveling the stars. But if you're here, that must mean there are others. Kind of incredible that we never bumped into anyone. Either we took a strange route, or the vastness of space just makes chance encounters unlikely. Maybe some combination of the two. Either way, I'm so relieved to find out that we're not alone out here.
Ja, also, Weltall ist groß. Ich bin Gideon. Und du bist?
Oh, jeez. Sorry, of course you don't know my name. We never met. I'm Yue. Wow, I never thought this would happen.
Sehr gewöhnlich daran, so habe ich das noch nie gesehen. Merkwürdig. Schön, dich kennenzulernen, Yue. Ich will dich jetzt nicht weiter stören.
Sure. Well, unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
Was machst du hier auf dem
Oh,
Schiff?
I'm the navigation officer, though I switch between nav and piloting. I'll be honest, the ship pretty much flies itself. Its destination hasn't changed since it launched, and we're here now, so I'm not sure what's next.
Wenn das Schiff sich selbst steuert, warum braucht es dann eine Navigatorin?
See, the nav system's not perfect. We encounter stuff that our forebears didn't originally count on. Astral bodies, space debris, stuff like that. So sometimes I need to take manual control and get out of tricky situations. Then there was the time I used those unaccounted for anomalies to our advantage. Slingshotted us around a few stars that weren't supposed to be there, saved some fuel and knocked a few decades off our journey. Pretty incredible stuff.
Mhm. Was hältst du davon, dass es da draußen noch andere Menschen gibt?
It's incredible. I'm pretty excited to meet new people and ask them all sorts of questions. I wonder about all we've missed this whole time while humanity has advanced around us.
Puh, eine Menge.
I'll be watching the skies for you.
I know Captain Brackenridge has essentially given you free rein to wander the ship, but security will still be watching you closely.
That's
You
okay.
understand? Given we have so little experience with people from the outside, it pays to take security seriously.
What's it looking
Something
like
I
today?
understand much better
All
now
clear out there.
than in my youth.
As you were.
Was?
I maintain order around here, and I aim to continue that,
Was-
even in these strange new times.
Was dachten sich die Leute, als ich an Bord
We
kam?
had time to prepare ourselves since we arrived in orbit around this planet. We knew there was life, and the predominant theory was that it was human life. When you approached, we needed to be careful. Both because you presented a potential threat, but also potential salvation. Plans were in place to deal with both scenarios, and luckily, cooler heads prevailed.
Wie ist es, auf einem Kolonistenschiff für die Sicherheit verantwortlich zu sein?
I don't have much basis for comparison. People tend to stay in line, but when they don't, I imagine it can be more challenging than out there. We only have a small brig, so in the few cases where there was widespread disorder, we needed to improvise. I'm told that has only happened once in our entire history. There was a brief revolt under Captain Brackenridge II when he amended the rationing laws. Prisoners were confined to their quarters. After the trial, the leader of the mutiny was exiled to space. We take security threats very seriously, for obvious reasons.
Okay, ihr habt sie also aus der Luftschleuse geschmissen. Hast du die Sicherheit des Schiffs nicht immer so ernst genommen?
It may surprise you to learn that I didn't. See, in my teenage years, I was quite rebellious. I stole a keycard and used it to get into the reactor. My shenanigans almost led to a total reactor meltdown. Normally, the punishment for such an act would be ejection from the ship. But my parents pleaded with Diana's father, the captain at the time, for leniency. He agreed. After I served time in the brig, he assigned me a job with the security team. I took the lesson to heart and have been taking my job seriously ever since.
Mhm. Schön, dass er eine zweite Chance bekommen hat. Die Geschichte ist ganz schön heftig. Ich verstehe nicht, warum dir nach der Sache so ein so wichtiger Job anvertraut wurde. Ja, okay. Kann man verstehen, aber schön, dass er eine zweite Chance bekommen hat.
If not for that incident, who knows how it would have ended for me otherwise. Crew management
Naja,
is
du
certainly
wärst
a
aus der Luftschleuse geflogen.
and it takes a skilled captain to know how to deal with difficult decisions like that. I will always be grateful for how it was handled. Be safe.
Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life. Don't forget to tell of us in your travels.
Mhm.
Hey, one. Hey!
Hey.
there!
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
Ja.
We've got strict rules around here. They're strict for a reason.
Erstmal ins Captain-Quartier. Ah, Boris Breckenridge, Alexander Breckenridge, Diana Breckenridge, das ist die aktuelle, und Philippe Breckenridge.
That sounds so familiar. Something from history slates that I've read. Oh, I feel I should know who this person is, but somehow it's escaped my memory.
Du, ich habe keine Ahnung. Dann haben wir Jacinda Breckenridge, Mathilda Breckenridge, Rupert Breckenridge und Rupert L. Breckenridge. Ja, ich will hier jetzt nicht die Leute direkt bestehen.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
Davon gehe ich aus.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Habe ich nicht vor. Dafür brauche ich einen Schlüssel.
Wow, I've heard about you, but here you are.
True.
Wow. Hi.
Techniküberwachungscomputer Alpha. Nur für qualifizierte Techniker oder unter deren Aufsicht. Zugriff verweigert. Das nehme ich persönlich. Ich jage dieses Schiff gleich in die Luft.
Wonder what it's like out there beyond our little community.
Warum kann ich hier überall
Keeping a
hören?
200-year-old ship running is no easy task.
Armin.
I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster than light travel and eclipse our poor old ship?
Wir haben einen Graph-Antrieb. Mit dieser Technik können Schiffe den Raum krümmen. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wie diese Technik funktioniert, aber sie tut es. Ich habe wirklich... Ja, wir haben einen Graph-Antrieb.
I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today.
Mhm. Weißt du, dass es unhöflich ist? Solltest du dich mit den Fragen vielleicht etwas... Okay, verstehe. Du möchtest wissen, was sich verändert hat, seit euer Schiff aufgebrochen ist? Wie auch immer, ich bin Gideon. Ich muss jetzt gehen. Ich bin Gideon. Ich muss mit dir über etwas anderes reden. Mit was müssen wir reden?
Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend.
Bei so einem alten Schiff hast du sicher viele heldenhafte Ingenieursgeschichten, oder?
Many years ago, when I was a junior engineer, the reactor's computer burned out. The computer that controls the reactor's various regulators. I'll spare you the details, but when that happens, the ship and everyone on it is in danger of turning into a mess of hot slag. I had to jury-rig parts from old media devices to prevent a meltdown. And that's how I became the boss around here.
Mhm. Was ist denn deine Aufgabe als Chefingenieur?
Some may say I'm a master of keeping things together with nothing but duct tape and bubblegum. Well, if we had any gum left. Pretty sure that ran out 100 years ago. When I'm not dealing with catastrophic engine failures, I manage the other engineers. We maintain all the machinery, computers, you name it. We keep the life support on and the ship flying.
Wenn eure Vorgänger schon von Graph-Antrieb wussten, warum haben sie dann nicht darauf gewartet? Weil es halt, ne?
Great question.
Nicht sicher war, dass das funktioniert.
Sure, but I can venture a guess. All of the reading I've done on the matter suggests that at the time, there was uncertainty that the technology would ever work. Or if it did, that it would work at the scale we needed. So, I trust they made the decision to strike out when they did, fully believing it was the only way.
Du sagtest, du hast mehr Fragen an mich.
Yes, so many. Does everyone have their own spaceships like you? Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to terraform? Are we in contact with alien species? I have so many more, but I don't want to take up all your time.
Viele Leute haben Schiffe, ja, aber nicht alle.
I knew it! Incredible! Amazing! Simply amazing! In our ancestors' time, only the very wealthy could afford to build ships. Even this ship was only possible by our families pulling together nearly all of their financial resources.
Kein Terraforming, aber es gibt Kolonien auf unwirtlichen Planeten. Wir nutzen Pods und so etwas.
I'm not surprised. The amount of energy it would take to terraform an entire planet seems improbable. I can assume these types of colonies are strictly for mining and gathering rare resources, since there are nearly limitless habitable planets to choose from out there.
Soweit wir wissen, gibt es kein intelligentes Leben, aber durchaus verschiedenste Lebewesen.
Disappointing, but not unexpected. When you showed up, I tried to tell the others about the Fermi paradox. I suggested that the most likely explanation for you was that humanity had developed faster, more advanced technology and had leapfrogged us. Seems I was right.
Ja. Gut, dann habe ich ja alles beantwortet.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I can have a bit of a big personality, I'm told. So let me know if I ever get on your nerves.
Und dann kriegst du meine Shotgun ins Gesicht.
Good luck out there.
Ja. Okay, aber aus irgendwelchen Gründen kann ich hier an 3 Überwachungscomputer und an den Reaktorcomputer.
I'm not sure how else to live.
Ihr spielt Vögelsounds über den Lautsprecher ab. Naja.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
And to think, all this time, we thought we were alone.
Ja, ihr seid Lappen.
These are exciting times, aren't they? So much more to learn
Hallo.
about now.
Hi there. Oh,
Hallo? Okay, das ist etwas unangenehm. Ich bin Gideon, ich bin wohl die erste Person von außerhalb des Schiffs, die du triffst.
Nice to meet you. And that's true. As you can imagine, everyone kind of just knows each other around here. Meeting new people isn't really a thing for us.
Sich daran gewöhnen, ob das öfter passiert. Ich verstehe das, aber das macht wirklich nichts. Du wirst dich daran gewöhnen. Du wirst dich daran gewöhnen.
Yeah, I know. It's funny though. All our lives, nothing could prepare us for this. We were born into a universe where we legitimately thought we were the only people in existence. Anyway, sorry for freezing up before. I just didn't expect our visitor from the outside to stop by and chat with me. I figured, if anything, you'd be with the captain. I'm Dice K, the ship's provisions manager. I'm not sure what I can offer you, but if I can help, I will. And if not, I'm happy just to talk.
Ist das hier dein Laden?
Not really. Things don't work that way here. It's not a shop like you hear about in the books and movies, or, where you're probably from. Almost everything is communal or shared in some way, but sometimes people want a little something extra or special for themselves. So when that happens, they come to me. Mostly, I just keep track of the ship's inventory and help ration the supplies so we don't run out.
Wo bekommt ihr Ressourcen her, wenn ihr nie mit anderen Kontakt hattet?
We manage. I know back on Earth, there used to be stores all over the place. Some that even specialize in specific types of goods, if you can imagine. But here, this is it. We have very limited supplies. Most of our stuff is recycled. Even the food. In a roundabout way, if you know what I mean. It works out for the most part, because it has to. You'll sense a running theme with that around here.
Mhm.
Take care.
Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something.
Ich hätte gerne alles.
And to think, all this time, we thought we were alone.
Tja, seid ihr aber nicht.
Just stay out of trouble.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
I wonder what it's like out there beyond our little community.
Oh, Alter.
Wow. We have a lot of movies to get through, but maybe during our
Classroom.
Hey, everyone! Miss Julia said we could watch it again.
And then maybe we can watch one of the sequels some other time.
Wait, they made more of them? Oh, I'm so excited I
Ich
can
werd
watch.
beschugge.
That's what Mr. Abe says sometimes. He's funny.
Yep, he sure is. Anyway, I think you still have some more school work to do.
Oh. All right.
Hallo. Ach,
You've
du
been on lots of
Scheiß.
cool space adventures. Just like in the old movies.
Ja, die sind fast,
You're less weird than I thought you would be.
I wonder how many other planets are out there that we can live on.
I
bet there's a million.
Teaching will always be a part of my life. Hello there. Given that I don't know you, you must be this visitor I've been hearing so much about. I'm Julia, the Constant's chief historian. It's nice to meet you on this momentous occasion.
Was kannst du mir über die Constant erzählen?
As chief historian, I can tell you a lot, probably. What do you want to know?
Wer waren die ursprünglichen Besatzungsmitglieder der Constant?
We're the descendants of wealthy elites, intellectuals, artists, scientists, and others who left Earth in 2040 to spread humanity to the stars. The thinking was that Earth's days were numbered for a variety of reasons. Our finder, Rupert Brackenridge, had the foresight to plan for the worst. Thus, he constructed this colony ship to settle what seemed like the most habitable planet we could find, knowing full well it would take generations to reach. We suspected that we may have been the only ones to leave Earth, given that no one else seemed to have the same idea. I'm glad we appear to be wrong.
Wie lange seid ihr schon unter... Seit knapp 200 Jahren?
Well, we launched Tuesday, September 27th, 2140. So, about 190 years now. Would have been longer, but it turns out we have an ace navigator who saved us some time with some tricky maneuvers.
Warum heißt das Schiff Yeet? ECS Constant.
ECS stands for Earth Colony Ship. We wanted a fairly inclusive name to represent the planet, and not a particular nation of origin. There was an old colony ship that sailed across the oceans of Earth from a country called England to settle on a new continent. It was called either the Susan or Sarah Constant. No one seems to know for sure, so ours was shortened to just Constant. Ironically enough, that ship also reached what they thought was new land, and found it populated when they arrived. As chief historian, I can tell you a lot, probably. What do you want to know? You know where to find me if you ever want to know more.
Kannst du mehr darüber erzählen, was die Arbeit als Chefhistorikerin mit sich bringt?
If you ask around, people will either tell you my job is absolutely critical to the mission, or I just hang out, read, and watch movies. There's more to it than that. Officially, I'm assigned to the role of chief historian. Generations ago, it used to be lawkeeper of humanity, but that seemed a bit too lofty. While I don't think my job is as important as captain, engineering officer, or cultivation manager, it's still vital to our mission.
Kannst du mir mehr über die Pflichten einer Chefhistorikerin erzählen?
I run the educational programs aboard the ship for all the children and any adults who are looking to learn about Earth history. We try to have group sessions some evenings where we read old Earth literature, watch old films, listen to music, and the like. So yes, I hang out with children and watch movies, but it's more involved than that. We historians are charged with keeping Earth culture alive, so that we never forget where we came from.
Die Arbeit wurde dir zugewiesen?
Of course. Everyone was assigned their roles here. We don't choose our roles, since there are only so many of us, and every job is critical. Someone has to prove themselves either exceptionally bad at their job or exceptionally good at another in order to be moved. But that rarely happens.
Macht dir deine Arbeit Spaß?
I do. But sometimes it's frustrating to convince some people that my job is important, since it's not directly related to our continued survival. There was a time where I thought my sister was the lucky one, running the hydroponics farm and being responsible for feeding everyone on board. But I grew to like my work, and working with children is nice, especially since I'll never have any of my own.
Bin dir nicht so nahe treten, aber warum kannst du keine Kinder bekommen?
It's okay. I don't mind you asking. I'm actually proud of my choice. It's a great honor to give up one's ability to have a family so that others may. As you can imagine, a population limit is a necessity on board a colony ship. I made my choice long ago to give others the chance to have a larger family should they wish. Though, I suppose I don't need to worry about that now. Maybe it's time to consider it.
Okay, das heißt, um the overpopulation zu umgehen, sind manche Frauen oder vielleicht auch manche Männer sterilisiert worden. Wenn ich das richtig verstehe.
Thanks for saying so. Goodbye.
Okay. Alter, könnt ihr aufhören, ihr scheiß Kinder?
So I don't really know what she means.
Mein Gott, Alter, plötzlich schreien mich 6 Kinder an. Ihr seid 5, ich konnte noch nie gut zählen. Alter, das ist Robsys PC, oder? Ich glaube, damit streamt Robsy. So. Okay, hier ist das. Elevator, Elevator.
Hey there.
Komm mir nicht mit Hey there. Gehen wir mal erstmal dahin. Warte mal. Das ist aber ein ziemlich beschissenes Design. Wie soll das denn funktionieren? Du wirst einfach, wenn du hier drin bist, bist du einfach totgequetscht von der Tür. Aber die haben Toilette und Dusche als ein. Ja, also mit den Duschen und den Toiletten müsst ihr euch auch keine Sorge mehr um Overpopulation machen, weil es werden einfach alle Menschen werden totgedrückt von der Tür, wenn sie scheißen gehen und wieder runter wollen. What the fuck, Alter? Robsy, wie geht's? Guck mal, Robsy, dein Computer hier. Guck mal. Nice, oder? David Copper.
There's so much more to learn about now.
I've lived my entire life in the Constant. I'm not sure. How else
Ist nass hier? Dein Computer ist nass oder deine Hose? Oder regnet es? Geil, Alter. Erstmal eine schöne AK-47. Ratatatatata. Ratatata. Regen. Ach so. Wie langweilig sein. Ja, Windows sagt mir auch schon seit 2 Stunden, dass hier stark Regen ist, aber as far as I know, it's
We
trocken.
were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Brick? Ah, Brick. Brick. Ups. Entschuldigung. Mir wird meine Hose einfach.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see what it can do.
Das willst du auch nicht. Gute Brick. Living Quarters. Hallo? Janet Yang! Steh mal auf! Was geht hier ab?
It definitely takes a special type of person to live their entire life, birth to death, aboard a single ship traveling through space.
Wasn't expecting this. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Janet.
Hi.
What's up? You?
Ich bin Gideon, dich kennenzulernen. Gut, ich wollte nur reden. Ich laufe hier nur rum und versuche die Leute nervös zu machen. Weiß nicht, für mich ist das hier auch etwas neu. Ich bin Gideon, nett dich kennenzulernen.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, I guess. I can take a break to chat if you want.
Was machst du hier?
Certainly not what I want to do.
Okay, was meinst du damit? Du musst, das musst du mir wohl genauer erklären. Das ist nichts Besonderes, wir alle müssen mal etwas tun, das uns keinen Spaß macht. Was meinst du?
I mean, I hate this job, and there's really nothing I can do about it. I'm the cultivation manager. Fancy words for farmer and fertilizer collector. I didn't have a choice. Most people don't. You get a job, and that's it. Like, I'm great at what I do, but I would enjoy doing literally anything else. Meanwhile, my sister Julia, she gets to hang out with kids all day and watch movies. The kids I couldn't care less about, but she doesn't even care about Earth culture. Ugh.
Okay, das ist jetzt interessant. Also Julia hat uns gesagt, sie ist war neidisch auf ihre Schwester, die sich um die Essenskultivierung und sowas kümmert. Und ihre Schwester sagt uns jetzt, sie ist neidisch auf ihre Schwester, die sich um die Kinder kümmert. Beziehungsweise halt allgemein Historikerin. Wie ist das Leben auf einem Kolonistenschiff?
Oh my god, it's terrible. I don't know how my parents did it, knowing they would never, ever get to leave until they died. Every day, you see exactly the same things. The same people do the same job. It's all the same. All the time. Seriously, the only thing that kept me going was knowing that we were the generation who knew we'd finally get the hell out of here. Although now that we're here, nothing seems to be happening. Sometimes I wonder if my sister was the lucky one.
Deine Schwester? Du meinst Julia? So schlimm kann es doch gar nicht sein. Diese Sache ist bald geregelt, dann kannst du... Du meinst Julia?
Ah, so you've met her?
Yeah.
No, not Julia. Julia and I were actually triplets with our sister Jen.
Oh,
but the
gosh.
ship ran out of one of her medications and she didn't make it.
Oh.
Sucks, but it is what it is. We only have so many supplies. We couldn't exactly get anything new along the way. Anyway, it happened a long time ago. I don't really feel that she's lucky. I'm just frustrated.
Ja. Schade Schokolade. Jen hat's nicht geschafft.
I wonder what else is
Hi.
out there.
Ich komme einfach mal so rein in deine Wohnung, ne? Ich lasse die Tür offen.
It's hard work keeping everyone happy in my little community, but I try my best.
Wer bist du denn?
Oh, hi. Hello. You're the alien.
Genau, ich bin das Alien.
Person that came from out there in space that we weren't expecting at all. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Can we start this over?
Ja, natürlich. Alles okay?
I'm fine. I will be. It's just my nerves acting up. This has just gotten everyone so stressed, and since I'm here to help people deal with problems like that, it piles on me. Abe, I'm scared. Abe, what if we can't get down to the surface? Abe, what are we gonna do? And so on and so forth. I've never had to deal with so much anxiety before, and I'm a pretty anxious guy to begin with. Just ask my husband.
Schon alles in Ordnung.
Yeah. Calming down. Here we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm Abe Levitz. Abe Levitz. I'm the cabin manager here, so if there's anything you need during your stay, I'm happy to accommodate.
Leider muss ich ganz plötzlich gehen.
Please do, even if you just want to schmooze.
Was für ein Ding, ich will nicht schmusen. Dachten die Leute wirklich, ich wäre eine Art Alien?
People didn't know what to think. Here we are, minding our own business out in deep space, all alone. Then we hear some sort of garbled transmissions on the radio. Real screechy, real inhuman sounding stuff. Then you show up? People had all sorts of fakakta theories. Aliens, time travelers, you name it. We watch a lot of old movies, so... Anyway, it spooked the bejesus out of us, because we were expecting to find nobody.
Was ist deine Aufgabe als Kabinenmanager?
I coordinate cabin maintenance, plan activities, even help settle domestic disputes. It's a demanding job, but in short, I'm here to keep people happy. I try to keep both the kids and adults entertained. Scavenger hunts, sing-alongs, fun little art projects, you name it. We also have regular media nights where a historian, Julia Yang, screens old movies, plays music, and exposes us to other Earth media.
Kannst du mir ein bisschen mehr über dich erzählen?
Me? Hey, well,
Oi.
not much to say. I take care of people here. I live with my husband, Daisuke, no kids. We passed on having a surrogate so others could have larger families. Instead, I get to spend time with everyone and their families here. They call me their bubby because I'm like the grandmother they never had. I may have had something to do with that nickname.
Was benutzt, du benutzt einige Wörter, die ich nicht kenne. Kannst du mir damit weiterhelfen?
Oh, you must mean the Yiddish. It's an old family tradition. The Levitts have been trying to keep it alive for hundreds of years now. See, we didn't think the language would survive if we didn't, so we charged ourselves with preserving it. It's a point of pride for our family, and something I'd like to pass on to others so they don't forget. Like my great-great-great-great-grandmother's latke recipe.
Alles klar.
Till next time, I guess.
Ja, hoffentlich nicht.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of